Time for the 49ers Rush Podcast.
We are now inside the top 10. Number 9 on the 49ers roster countdown. Newest addition to the team. The prized free agent that I think fans have wanted for many, many years. That big-time cornerback signing. Charvarius Ward comes over from the enemy. Part of the Chiefs Super Bowl team. Glad he's on our team now. He is awesome. We're going to be going through a lot. We're going to go through some film, some highlights. We're going to see how he compares against the best wide receivers in the NFL. We're going to go through his past, which has been epic, to say the least. Overcoming, being handicapped as a child, being held back, skipping grades, undrafted free agent, all those different things. What he has done so far in the NFL, and most importantly, let's look forward. Let's see what he can do in 2022 and beyond for the 49ers, because this kid is a difference maker that embodies what it means to triumph over adversity. And that's what football is, right? The age-old adage, football doesn't build character, it reveals it. It has revealed this kid is a champion in the truest sense of the word in all facets of life, and by far one of my favorite players. We'll hear him talk, which, man, I wish he was in every single press conference because he is freaking awesome and hilarious, and just, he's great, man. I really, really do like this guy. So, jersey number 35 for a corner, it's a little different, but when you're an undrafted free agent coming into the NFL, you don't get your pick of numbers. That's just the way it goes. 6'1", 196 pounds, and he just turned 26 years old. 49ers signed him to a 3-year deal. We'll break down the contract and the cap numbers and all that kind of stuff later on, but he is entering into his 5th season in the NFL. Now, he is from South Mississippi, played at Macomb High School, the Fighting Tigers, and it's really Louisiana. Like, you look at where he's from, it's Louisiana. Like, it's right on top of the bottom of the boot of Louisiana, just right across the Louisiana border there. His full name is Charvarius D. Ward, parents Garland and Tanya Ward. He was a liberal studies major. Now, whenever he was young, he had a lot of issues. There's no doubt. He had a hip issue and actually had to live in a wheelchair for 2 years before he had his surgery and was able to overcome that. Here's Ward talking about overcoming that.
It was an obstacle as a kid. Like, I was on crutches in a wheelchair. So it was kind of foreign territory to me. Like, I was kind of handicapped at a very young age, but I feel like it made me stronger growing up. It made me closer with my family as well. Like, they had to take care of me, had me do all types of things that I couldn't do on my own, just being handicapped like that. And it made me a stronger kid and a better man, I guess.
And I mean, good gosh. Going from that, he was held back at a young age in school because they thought he had learning disabilities. Turns out he just couldn't see. He had to get glasses. Once he got glasses, he performed so well. Once he got to high school, they let him go from a freshman to a junior because he was performing so well academically. Just had some adversities, and had to overcome those, but golly, to say he's done incredible things with his life, academically, football-wise, everything. So shout out to him. Now, let's start some film going as we continue to go through his background. This is thrown up on Patreon. This is one of 3 games that I've put up on there. I think I have over an hour and 45 minutes of film on Charvarius Ward. This is the game against the Cowboys, and man, he just completely shut down CeeDee Lamb. I'm just going to be honest. He got burned twice on double moves, but neither of which were completed. But man, he is aggressive. We'll get into his film and all those things. Now, if you're like, man, this is small and whatever else, well, guess what? You got to head over to Patreon if you want the full breakdown and audio commentary, play-by-play. Literally, I've got games against the Steelers, the Bengals. You want to see him go against Jamar Chase and CeeDee Lamb. I've got 3 different game tapes up there, and you get them all as soon as you join. You just type in Charvarius Ward in the little search field. Those 3 videos will pop up. Patreon.com/49ers Rush Podcast. Now, high school, only played football, and again, talked about how he was held back when he was young, but only had 3 years in high school because he skipped his sophomore year to catch up with the kids in his grade. Earned all region honors, voted team's best defensive back as a senior, had 48 tackles and an interception, and then he had to go to Hines community college. Wasn't a standout. Usually players get recruited their sophomore, junior year. He skipped a year and just didn't catch on. He helped the community college go 6-3 in 2015, had an interception, 2 pass breakups, block kick. He was all over there and played really, really well, but he still didn't get a lot of huge scholarship offers. And you look at kind of what he had to do. He went to Middle Tennessee State his junior year and played well. Appeared in 12 games, only 2 starts his junior year. And then as a senior, 13 games, only 8 starts. And so he had some traits that you could tell would correlate to the NFL, but it was just too much of an unknown on a small playing field. Middle Tennessee State, they play like North Texas, some things like that. They're Conference USA. But, it just wasn't a lot out there. He had 2 career interceptions, 1 sack, 13 career pass deflections. Not enough really to be a heralded anything from that standpoint. It just wasn't it. Now, I will say this. He did earn the team's Grinder Award, which, as you could tell, he's a hard worker. That's kind of what he has been his entire life. And he did not get an invite to the Combine, which another major issue. So didn't receive that, but he did get an invite to the NFLPA Collegiate Bowl, which is kind of like the third tier. You've got the Senior Bowl, you've got the East-West Shrine Game, then you've got the Collegiate Bowl. That's kind of, so like the third tier all-star game. But he performed very well at Middle Tennessee State's Pro Day and did very, very well. Finished, DraftScout.com had him as the 46th cornerback. Let's look at some of the metrics he put up on the Pro Day. Now, again, these are Pro Day numbers. 4.44 40-yard dash. Top end speed, check mark. I think the play we just showed shows him chasing a fade on CeeDee Lamb and staying with him step by step. 3 cones, 7.5. Very bad score. Very, very bad score. Vertical 31, broad jump 132, bench press reps 12, and he went undrafted. And he landed with the Cowboys of all teams. They brought him in on a 3-year deal and never really accomplished anything. And eventually caught the eye of the Kansas City Chiefs. And they traded for him. On August 30th, 2018, the Chiefs traded offensive guard Parker Erringer. There we go. I think I said that right. Never heard of him. So he got traded to the Chiefs for an offensive lineman, and Andy Reid loved him. He was their 5th cornerback on the active roster. As soon as he got there, he was behind Steven Nelson, Kendall Fuller, Orlando Scandrick, Tremon Smith. Now, he made his professional regular season debut against the Denver Broncos Week 3 in 2018 season. And Kendall Fuller got hurt. He stepped in, and after that, it was just like, good gosh, how do we keep this guy off the field? The Chiefs, they went 12-4 that year, got a first round bye, all those things. And sure enough, he gets a start against the Patriots in the AFC Championship game in 2018 and was almost the hero of the year as he picked off Tom Brady and would have finished the game. The Chiefs would have went to the Super Bowl, but guess what? Somebody jumped off sides. Do you guys remember who that somebody was? D Ford. D Ford negated the heroic interception that Ward brought down, and sure enough, the Chiefs ended up losing. Patriots go on to the Super Bowl. Now, 2019, he was competing with Rashad Breeland to start at cornerback, and sure enough, he beat out Breeland and started the entire season, and sure enough, had a hell of a game against the 49ers in the Super Bowl, and the 49ers came up short. They played very well in that game, so which sucks, but now he's on the good guys. Last year, 2021, again, just continued to just be a stud, and if we look at kind of his career, his numbers, once he started, you couldn't get rid of him. He started all of the games. Has 29 career pass defensed. Not a big interception guy, only 4 interceptions, but man, he's a hellacious tackler. And, 43 starts, played in 56 games. Here's the things that Charvarius Ward does better than anybody else. He's not a ball-hawking corner. That's not what he is. He's not an elite freak athlete. That's not what he is. What he does do is he gives up very little separation. He makes the degree of difficulty almost impossible on catches. If you're watching this clip on YouTube right now, gets beat on, a short drag route across the middle, which is very hard for an outside corner in man coverage, and just closes it down. Now, the catch is made, but that's the thing. No yards after catch. He never misses tackles. One of the best tackling corners in the NFL. He only has 10 career missed tackles on 200 career tackles. Now, to put that into perspective, Mosley had 12 missed tackles last year. This dude's had 10 missed tackles his entire career. Tart had 12 missed tackles in part-time last year. This guy, only 10 his entire career. He's a damn good tackler. He uses his arms very well. Next Gen Stats gave him a 46.7% tight window rate. Well, what's that mean? It's best in the NFL, meaning he sticks to his guys. He's Velcro. Allowed a 40% completion percentage, best in the NFL. 46.6% expected completion percentage, first in the NFL. A 52.5 passer rating allowed, third in the NFL. And 4.6 yards per target, third in the NFL. So the guy's got it. Whatever it is, he's got it in spades. There's no doubt about it. I mean, he could just flat out play. And my favorite thing about watching all of his film, and again, because once the 49ers got him, I was like, all right, I want to see him against the best. Listen to these numbers. Against A.J. Brown and Julio Jones in Week 7 of 2021. Now, this is only when he's guarding them. So if you look up A.J. Brown's stats, they might be better for the game. But 35, Charvarius Ward wasn't on him. They had 18 yards against him. Devontae Adams, Week 9 last year, 14 yards against him. CeeDee Lamb, Week 11, which we just watched, 5 yards against him. Keenan Allen, 0 yards. Jamar Chase, which they played against him twice. In Week 17, Jamar Chase had 83 yards and a touchdown against him. The championship game, 22 yards against him. Stephon Diggs in the divisional game, 1 yard against him. So he's at his best versus the best. And guess what? He's going to get a guard. Just if you look at the NFC West by itself, DK Metcalf, DeAndre Hopkins, Cooper Kupp. There's a reason the 49ers paid this premium to bring him in. Now, if we break down his contract and what those numbers kind of look like, he signed a 3-year, $40.5 million deal, okay? $12 million signing bonus, $26.6 million guaranteed combined. Now, all right, cool. It's not your money. It's not my money. Let's talk about the cap hits and how it affects the team. His cap hit for this year, $3.8 million. That's it. It's a backloaded deal. And it's spread out because it has 2 void years on top of it to spread out those cap hits. So 2023, $16.4 million cap hit. And after that, even though it's a 3-year deal, the 49ers have an out after 2 years if things aren't going well. They can save $13 million off the cap in 2024, which is only $15.4 million. So if things don't go great, you can move on as a franchise. If things do go well, you got them for 3 years, you renegotiate that deal, you keep them long term. The void year deals, very, very small cap hits. 2025, 4.8. That one's not too small. That's actually decent size. 2026, 2.4. This is the new business in the NFL because they're expecting the cap to continue to increase with these new TV deals. We'll have to kind of see how that plays out. Now, again, talk about the path of an undrafted free agent. 5.5 million career earnings in 4 years. That's all he's made before us. The fact that he's going to be getting, 3 years, $40 million, freaking love it. Generational wealth for a family that had to overcome a lot to get to where he is. And it's a family deal. It's not just him. And go back to that clip, his family is what got him to where he is, which I freaking love. And he's just so freaking chill. Really, really like his play. Training camp has gone incredibly well for him, and he is just shutting people down left and right, which I love. Might have the best secondary of the NFL. That's crazy to say. Richard Sherman came out and said that just a couple short days ago. I'm not sure we're there at the best, but we sure as hell got a lot of depth. If that nickel cornerback spot can work out, and if that number 2 safety spot, Hufanga, can play to his potential, then who knows? But I can guarantee you this. We are now past the days of bad cornerback play. There is no Josh Norman walking through that door. There is no Dre Kirkpatrick walking through that door. Thank God. He will be CB1 the entire year. I do think that he'll just stick on the left side. Mosley will stick on the defensive right side. Who goes to that slot corner role? I don't know. Maybe Jason Verrett when he's healthy. Darquez Dennard probably going to get it at the start. But we've got the outsides. They're going to be great. And we've got depth behind them with Ambry Thomas, Diamador Lenore. There's a lot of bodies there. Depth, stars at the cornerback position. Who would have thought the 49ers could do that? I didn't know that was allowed. I'm very excited for it. And that's number 9 on our roster countdown. Want to say thank you, Josh. Man, you guys, Josh and Anthony, incredible job as always with this entire series. We got 8 more to go.